Good morning, Your Honor.
And I'll just note, I do have the microphone on. If you could just speak loudly and clearly, take your time if you're going to read from something. If you don't mind just stating your name for the record and just spelling it for the record.
All right, well, my name is Jared Wood, Jaredwood.
Very good. I'll ask the advocate maybe just to push that up a little.
Is this better?
Sure.
All right.
And thank you. I'll hear from you this morning.
Oh, thank you. I am here today to speak on behalf of my son, Julian Wood, who is no longer here to speak for himself, and I am thankful for you to be giving me this opportunity to do so. It's hard to know where to start when talking about him, so I guess I'll start with letting you know that our family is no stranger to the struggles of cognitive or behavioral differences. Our oldest child has autism. He was actually considered nonverbal, and it wasn't until he was about 7 years old when he became verbal. We tried everything we could to help as parents. But who I should say, actually got him to break free and open up and talk to the point to where we have actually a hard time getting him to stop now, was Julian himself. Julian had a special way with people to get them to grow and open up and just have fun. That was the kind of kid he was. He was funny, outgoing, fearless, and full of life, love, and laughter. The energy he brought to the world was boundless. I even called him my copper top baby because his hair wasn't quite the same color as red as mine, but it was more of a copper color like the battery. Julian loved dinosaurs, and outside of saying hi, Mom and Dad, dinosaur was his first word, which actually shocked all of us with how big of a word it was at such a young age. He also loved Halloween, so much so that he chose to be a dinosaur every year without fail, and he would even find his old costumes throughout the year and put them on even though they no longer fit, not letting us take them off until it was bedtime, where we would have to put on his dino pajamas. However, these are moments that we'll never get the chance to share with him again. Julian had a way of letting you know he was near, like when he woke up in the morning, usually before daylight, with his thundering footsteps as he walked down the hallway from his room. That is when I knew it was my cue to get up and to go get him some leche, which is milk. Another way Julian made his presence known was by taking his brother's toys and running around laughing because he knew he couldn't catch them, and it was funny to take big brother's things, which unknowingly helped his brother find his voice and start speaking up for himself. He always knew when you were down or feeling some kind of way, and he would do in his own way what he felt you needed to feel better. For me, when he felt I was down or had a rough day, he would get his brother and they would tag team wrestle me and just beat me up. We would roughhouse a little on the bed here and there, and he would also run into the kitchen whenever I came home from work to greet me. Sometimes I would tease him by hiding behind the doors, and he would look stumped to where I was. And I would jump out roaring like a dinosaur, and he'd roar back and then punch me in the stomach and go, "Ah, you scared me, Dad." For my wife, he would snuggle deeply and tell her he loved her. And sometimes he would fearlessly climb onto the counter and go into the cabinets and pull out a box of cake mix and help her make a cake. And for his grandmother, he was glued to her side. They had their inside jokes. He learned to love all the odd old candies like black licorice or candy corn. And for his brother, he would sit with him and watch videos on his iPad so Big Brother knew he was near. He was just so smart and funny and knew things that most little kids didn't know. Like whenever we would go in the car, he would always try to give us directions to McDonald's because he always wanted French fries. Another thing he always wanted to do was help us with errands. If he saw me or my wife putting on our tennis shoes, he would run and put his shoes on and wanted to go and just to spend time with us. Now, these are things we will never get to do with him again. What I am most sad about now is not just the time I don't get to spend with him, but the time his brother, his sister, his mother, his grandma, and all of our family that doesn't get to spend with him with the time again, and we are all robbed of that opportunity. He was on a path to be a big kid, which is why I called him my big guy too. He was going to be the protector of his brother and sister. That part was evident since the moment I brought Julian and his brother to the hospital to meet the new baby sister and see their mother. Julian was so in love with her. He wouldn't leave her alone or take his eyes off her while we're there. And he even tried feeding her while she laid in the crib sleeping. His sister won't get to know the amount of love he had for her other than from what we tell her. She didn't even get a full 2 months with him before he was taken from us. When we had our daughter, I finally felt I had a full life. I had everything I ever wanted. A beautiful, loving wife, 2 sons and a daughter. It didn't even last all of 2 months before that monster took him from us. Now all of our hearts will forever be missing a piece, and it's up to all of us to keep his light shining, even though his star is gone. With that, I would like to thank you for taking the time to hear me out and speak about our son and what he was able to give this world in such a short time. And thank you again to the prosecution, Anna and Julian, for fighting so hard for our boy and my wife. And thanks to the jury for getting it right. And thank you to the North Olmsted Police Department for all the work you guys did with helping on that day. And to the community for the continued support. We will be forever grateful. With all that being said, to Judge Russo, I ask you to do what's best for my family and the community, so she has no opportunity to commit these heinous crimes again. I'm asking you to give her the maximum sentence possible, life without parole. Thank you.
Thank you.